that's like part too now of depression.
Now, but right now, so we're talking about that depression you just said. How do you feel now about your biological father? Right now,
I respect it.
So I mean, but like, is there still a depression that's connected to that?
It's love there, because life.
So something happened that took you from one extreme to the next.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
Just having my stepfather step in the road and to raise me, to bring me in the world, to have a son, to the point where I see things differently now, to the point where like it's petty, bro. Like for instance, man.
I like that.
When God takes somebody away from you, man, they gone. You can't get them back. So I don't hold grudges. I don't do none of that. Like
that's real,
I
bro.
carry myself different from a lot of people.
Real.
Like
that's
I don't
so
hold
real.
stuff, bro. Like I don't hold stuff.
That's real.
Like anybody who know me, when I tell you something, I'm telling you, and it's off my chest. You
that's
know what I'm
real,
saying?
bro.
Because like for me, bro, life too short, bro.
That's
too short, bro. And we need more love, bro. Like, bro, listen, bro. Like I told my mom, I don't know what he did or what happened in his life to cause that. But I won't knock that man for that. Because sometimes as a man, we go through life.
That's real, bro.
That throws off our path, bro, and we stumble. And sometimes, bro, we need that person down 10 years, 20 years. You never know when they're gonna come. You know what I'm saying?
that kind of karma that you producing,
bro. I love you, bro.
That kind of karma you producing right now by making those type of statements, because there's somebody else out there who in your situation who don't know how to deal with it, and you're gonna say and like, see, I was fortunate to be raised by my dad, and my dad, I lost him 2 years ago, so I've never known, like, even when my mom and dad were together, my dad was my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I never known that. But I that's not to say I haven't known a stepdad, because my mom moved on. But I've always wondered, if I didn't have one, would I hold the anger? And I think I'd be more like you. I think I'd be more like, life's too short, it ain't worth it. Like, to hold that kind of grudge and anger, because the truth of it, and here's what you said that I think was 100% right. You don't know. You whatever you think you know, unless you was there, you don't know. You don't know what caused.
And then you got to go through relationships yourself.
Yeah, trying to figure that out. How you going to focus on your own?
Well, damn, I went through this with this person, and that kind of caused me to go left. Maybe that happened in that situation. I made him go this way.
So the whole.
But let me reach out to him, bro, to communicate.
The whole circle of this conversation, and what I was trying to drive back to, and I think you hit it home with the best point at the end, was that with mental illness, and I think we all can agree that there is a catalyst. There's something that causes it. And we're really focusing on depression right now. So if you find yourself in a state of depression, the first thing to do in order to get on the road to getting better is to determine what caused the depression. You have to identify why do you feel the way you feel. For me, it's a sheer debilitating fear of unknown, and it's a fear that I shouldn't have because I'm a man of faith. So I said that because I know exactly what through your head when I said it, but it's a reality.
Reality fear.
And the fear ain't for me. I don't fear for me because of what you said. I don't fear for me because I was prepared through life to deal with whatever comes, be it racism, be it classism, be it whatever. I was prepared. My fear is that am I able to do enough to prepare my offspring to be prepared to deal with whatever comes, whatever it is. That's my fear. That caused me to be depressed. That caused me to feel very debilitated. That caused me to feel so sad, like to be overwhelmed with.
That's parenthood.
Yeah, and that's what I had to come to the realization of.
Your depression changes, and you grow as they grow. So for me, like, okay, damn, like he's 21 now, and he going to school, going to college. That's depressed. Oh man, she's You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's so much different levels of it. You know what I'm saying? In life, like to me, when you born, you damn near gonna be born in depression somehow, some way. Just me personally, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that we go through as people. You know what I'm saying? As humans.
Yeah. You know, my oldest offspring started college this fall. Started college.
Blessings with that.
Blessings and you have to understand something. She had the most obstacles, before her growing up. So many obstacles, things that were out of my control, and things that were out of her control. Just obstacles. And I tell her all the time, and I'm saying it on live right now because I want her to know that I mean what I said. I'm so proud of her because of the way she stood up in the paint and overcame. Yeah. So the fear I had for my other kids, she, like you said, took that off of me.
And with that being said,
Black women.
I want to get your point of view as a sister, like you know what I'm saying, like as a sister.
How powerful a sister is.
Black girl magic.
You know what I'm saying? Because as black men, we can say and talk, but we think we know sometimes what a sister goes through as a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I want to
be worse for them, right?
Yeah, like I want to get your point of view.
I don't think that it's worse. It's better. I don't, because we don't know what you guys go through.
Very true.
But I do want to say, do you tell? You said that your depression comes from the unknown. Now, do you tell? I got 2 questions for you, Lee. Do you tell your one that's going to college right now that you're proud of her?
Absolutely.
Not only are you here.
No, absolutely.
Because it does wonders.
Yeah.
Listen, I do. Let me just say it all the time because I truly am, like, because let's be real, I just didn't see it coming. She's always been smart, but she has so many obstacles, so many things, so many reasons not to be successful. Right. And through it all, she was like, "Nah, fuck that. Right. I'm gonna be everything."
Number 2.
All right, number 2.
When have you started talking to your kids about what we're talking about right now? About
we've had not depression, but we have had conversations about life. We had those conversations. We all. So here's the thing about.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to laugh.
I ain't trying to breathe. Like, I'm like,
I ain't mad.
Look at it, he ain't mad.
Okay,
I'm trying not to laugh so hard because it's not like we having a serious conversation and it's behind us.
I love it. I love it. Okay, but listen to your second question. I think, and you get because you're the only other parent with us, right? I think that in this day and age, you have to have a conversation. Like, you don't have a choice because it's already there in front of them. Like. All of them got social media accounts, you know. And if you don't have a conversation, you allow social media to be the one to dictate how they receive the information. So you got to make them know the difference between fake news
and it goes back to the
blow up and
one of y'all said about
that's probably me.
Just you know,
that's probably me.
Like you ain't not but a good parent recognizing their kids, like seeing like certain. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're a bad parent if you don't, because some parents, you know,
that's kind of what he said. That's kind of what he said.
But
that's kind of what he
said. Let me clear this up.
Because
Because I know it was a point in my life before my stepdad where my mom had to work 2 jobs, hustle and bustle, and she had to make ends meet like for me and her. So I understand both sides. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand both sides.
It took me a minute.
Hey, shout out to my mom, dude, because. Like, I ain't never remember her not working. She always held us down, like, through it all. Like, that song Tupac wrote, Dear Mama, man, with minus the crack fiend part, he described my mama to the end. My mama wasn't no crack fiend, but minus that part, he called her out, man. I loved it, too. But, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, boss.
This is a small story, bro. I'm never forget this, bro. Might store us out, but I was 6 years old, bro. And to walk with my mom in the warehouse, and for her to be told, I'll never forget this story, that you make too much money, and we can't help you, and sent her back to the hood at 6 years old, bro.
Motivated,
myself, bro. Like, we would never get on help.
Motivated,
ever.
Motivated.
Yeah, bro. Like,
motivated.
But for me, that was the depression coming up because, like, how in the hood with nothing, and y'all don't want to give my mom nothing, who's working 2 jobs, never had a, you know. So
see, but it goes back to the main point, what you just said. Like, we in a country. That ain't got our back, man. Like they want so much from us. Like if they do a draft, we gone. Yeah. Not me, 'cause I got a bad knee. But the rest of y'all gone. I'm gonna be sad as hell. Like they took my poor brother called the Waters and made him fight, put a gun in Markel and the peaceful guy.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Not to, like,
you gonna be like in communications or something.
Touch people, but
fire.
That's gonna be you. You got some like any like issues with like depression or like what's your feel about it?
Yeah, have you ever experienced it though, Anthony? Oh yeah. Because like from on the outside looking in, you would be one of the people who I would describe like that got like just got a grave existence. Mm-hmm. You too, actually, because you know you drive a Lexus. Oh, I want to put that on. I'm sorry,
right, bro.
I don't want to say that.
My bad. He don't drive a Lexus.
We gonna cut that out.
I was just playing.
Now can I butt in though real
quick? Yes, please do.
Because you see people like him that's happy that got you know, or that we see that is happy, that has friends of friends on top of friends, that is such an extra. I know people. I mean, friends is. You know people.
Life is a filter, bro.
You're right. Not friend, but like as growing up, you were known. You had people that that knew you that you didn't even know.
Still do.
Exactly. And such an extrovert. You know, sharing a house with that type of person, and you the complete opposite.
Oh wow! Bring it to the table. Bring it to the table. Wait a minute.
No, but I'm saying you the complete opposite. This came so easy to him. And no. Not saying that he depressed me whatsoever.
I thought you was my
No,
dog.
Nah.
Hey, explain, son.
That's what I thought.
Finish explaining.
But-
We heard the same thing. I don't know what y'all heard.
I always seen that and then it's like switch back to me. I don't make friends that easy. I'm not an extrovert. I can't go out there and just start talking to people. People don't just come up and talk to me in high school.
That's me and my little brother.
In high school,
He said the same.
listen, I'm gonna take it back. We was doing a senior prank. I got put into the senior prank
that's me and my little brother.
the chat, and people said, "Oh, that's Jayana." They said, "Who is Jayana?" Now, if you go back to Anthony, oh, everybody know that short little boy that play on the basketball team, and he in everything and anything. Not saying that that made me depressed or whatnot, but because
me, that's him.
but to look up to him.
But I feel you, bro, because
I looked up to him so much.
my little brother had that
But
same
that's
thought
my
for me,
brother,
man.
and I have so much love for him.
Yeah.
Everybody know that I would do so much. We always said if he was
So
getting
cute.
jumped and the guy was jumping him, I'm supposed to jump in and fight his girl. I don't know. That's what we said that a long time.
Well,
ago.
you said if he was getting fighting a guy,
My dog
you supposed to jump in and beat up his girl
I'm supposed to jump in. I'm supposed to have I'm supposed to have his back
and
he
beat
had
up the
my
guy
back.
girl.
Damn right.
Yes. So
Wow,
it's
y'all
still
from
like
Parker?
that.
That's some definitely some
But
Parker
it's
stuff. That's what they
instilled
do.
in us from our parents that we have each other's back because we have
I
we
can
have
do
other
that.
siblings
got.
that we don't talk to. But we got each other.
Oh.
And as a family, we always said that. We got each other.
Hey, well, Four Black Brothers like to send a shout out to all siblings. I mean, my siblings, they siblings,
Rodney,
his siblings,
Kaimi,
his
Gang,
siblings. I got.
Taylor.
Let me just start from the bottom to the top.
How many you got? 16? Because I know you got 6.
No, I got a heap of them though. Okay, you ready?
You know he old. He said he.
No, I got a heap of them.
I'm dead.
I got my oldest brother Samson. I got my big brother James. I got my little brother Jimmy. And then I got my sister Sam, who was a new sister, believe it or not. I got my other sister Janice, another new sister. And then I got my 3 core sisters, Nella.
3.
You got it? And then I got Monica and Angel.
That's it.
And them is all my people.
Ooh,
Sis.
what? Hey.
All of them is my siblings. Sis.
What else is?
All of them. And then my babies. Hey siblings, I love y'all. Y'all the bomb.
All of them.
But
all of them is
But
mine.
all in all,
All of them.
I'm not saying that.
Wait, Big ain't
it
say
made
his
me
yet.
depressed.
No,
I'm
I'm
saying I had
answering
to
his
say
question.
I had to make sure that they know that didn't make me depressed.
Wait, but then what made you depressed?
That's the underlying thing that I have yet to figure out.
Give it to me. On to my. So you on but you on the hunt.
I'm on the hunt.
That's as long as you on the hunt.
And I feel as a black woman, and as a black, I guess I could speak for you too, but we always on the hunt to find. And it's not just mental. We always on the hunt to find money. We always on the hunt to
Oh, we need
find
some money.
love. We always on
Need
the
some
hunt to
love.
find friendship. We always
Love
on the
some
hunt to
friendship.
find inside, deeper than.
Yeah. I want to
No.
answer that question.
And it's crazy because, like, me and my little brother had this talk. And, like, I never realized, like, the small amount of friction we had until he opened up one day about, like, you was always the one that people wanted to be around. You was always that person. And it was like, bro, like, you know how I feel to be a shadow. And I was like, and for me, I can understand, like, that sort of depression. Because if everywhere we go, I'm second. That's something, you know what I'm saying?
Now
That was your little brother?
And I'm not saying like literally second, but in his mind, it was like, bro, like everybody want to see you. You the one they talk to. You the one they calling. Not even like, and I had to explain to him, not even knowing, like, bro, some of the ways that I get through my depression is by being that person for them. You know what I'm saying? But like,
And not every feeling is a depression, though. Not every feeling, because I feel like we use terms very loosely as well. That's my. I feel like we use different terms very out broad.
exactly, bro.
Yeah, we definitely should have it down to a definition of what it means to be depressed.
Yeah, because a lot of people will sit out here and be like, "Oh man, I'm depressed." Now you just feeling low that day.
Sad.
Yeah.
You just sad today, but tomorrow you gonna wake up good.
Yeah. So wait, what? So wait. Now that brings up a very good question, though, which I'm gonna need you to answer. So what's the difference between being depressed and being sad?
A chronic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, so to be depressed, it has to be something that goes on for a long period of
Consistently
time.
for a long period.
And then, but
And
just
then it
being
can have breaks, but
sad.
has a long period of consistency.
But what's a long period? We're talking about an hour. We're talking about a day. We're talking about a month. We're talking about a week. What are we talking about?
Depends. I mean,
Like, what's determined as a long
years.
period?
Huh?
What's determined as a long period?
I believe it's like several days.
So consecutive days though.
Or is it several weeks?
It doesn't have to be consecutive.
No.
No, you can have a good day.
I think it's to the person.
No, I meant like
and I feel like it's to the person as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
I feel like it's to the person as well. But as young people, we out here, we use the terms very loosely. We use anxiety very loosely. But you just scared. Scared is that's normal. But people are actually feel like what Markel said, you trapped in the box and you ain't got the key on how to get out. But you stuck, you scared.
This is Markel right here.
So he said that earlier.
So to answer your question about me having to say something on depression or to express about how I feel about depression, first off, I just want to say I love you. You already know that.
Oh, so cute.
I might have not showed you the best examples as a big brother, but I've always taught you to learn from my mistakes so you wouldn't make the same.
Okay. Good big brother quality.
Depression, I feel like a lot of people look at me as being a happy guy,
But you are though.
Yes, but there's points where like sometimes I go home and it's like taking the mask off because like at the end of the day, the way I was taught, man, I never was taught, or we were never taught to show weakness. So
of course.
I'm gonna give you me, but when I get home, you know,
it's another person.
Mm-hmm.
And that person is depressed?
Yes. And the reason why is actually going to your part of saying what was
and that's the question, bro. How many of us have those two people that Beyonce that
all of us have that.
Exactly. Yeah.
All of us, and the ones who don't find no success in life. Zero.
Exactly.
Yeah, like me and my brother was just talking about before we started filming. Like, if you don't have a mask to show that other world, the other world see the real you. They don't like the real you. They don't ever want me to come to work and be the other me. Yeah. And I don't want to be that.
Go ahead,
like, I really don't.
I want to get your side.
Y'all know the real me.
Yeah, but see, you throwing me off for a loop because in all honesty, and I'm not saying this as a joke, I always thought the you present was the real you.
Nah.
I never saw another you. Even when we do our show, I've never seen another you. I've always seen the same ant.
A lot of this is like an onion, bro. Like
layers.
You gotta peel.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like me and bro. Like the reason why we in him jail so hard, bro, is because like.
Wait, we jail pretty hard too.
No, we all jail, goddamn.
No, we be gelling up. We like gelling like Magellan in the shoe. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you said, bro. Like, you know, coming up in our culture, bro, we was raised to never show like we had to be tough. We had to be this person.
We still are. Yeah.
So like I think what bro is it's almost like, not saying he mastered it because he didn't master it, but he understand how to be that, you know what I'm saying? But
he understood it from a young age.
Yeah.
Because
and he finessed himself into a place now. Like she described it best. She said that he was a person that everybody wanted to be around, you know, and that came natural to you.
And sometimes you don't even want that.
It came naturally. You didn't have to work at it.
Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
But Markel like that too though. But he will be described the opposite. But if you ever, I work with a man, like for real, brother can be like too much sometimes. But he is very. Like when Markel's working, the employees are happy. Management might not be happy because he sucks, but the employees are happy. They love him, and I ain't gonna lie, he's entertaining. Except when he tried to grab on my elbow for some reason. I don't know why he like to do that, or he like to walk to the table and just move some out your reach, and then just walk off. He does that a lot. Like I'm not sure why. He just does, and I'm like, and it frustrates me to no end. But he keeps doing. He'll walk over and take the salt and sugar and just lay it down.
Okay, stop talking about what he talking about Markel, because Markel's a good one.
I wouldn't say he wasn't good. I was just saying that like he like to mess with people's stuff all the time.
But to go back to
he do all the time. He like just like he take it and just okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go back to that point of like taking that mask off. Like if people really knew the real me, they would take advantage of me.
So you're saying the real you is even nicer?
The real me is. I'm not saying it's nicer. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to me. It's a lot to me, and there's a lot that myself I want to do and don't know how to do it. And I think that's why Big said we jail so much, because it's so much.
Wait, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
It's not about Lee Mum right now.
Right now.
Y'all keep talking about y'all then.
Go ahead. Hey, Biggs to the day, goddammit. Biggs to the day. Go ahead.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Biggs to the day, goddammit.
Big is here. Big is here. He's right there.
Go ahead. The mic is the mic.
Speaking.
2 G's.
I jail with both of you, bro. I jail with all of y'all, and I jail with my little sister as well. But
yes, you do.
Me and Biggs are damn near almost one and the same. Yes, we're different, but I'll tell y'all after camera, but taking that mask off and not showing the world what you really are, that when I get home I can just take that deep breath and like, okay, you know what I'm saying? There's only 1 to 2, maybe 3 people that know like the true me.
Now that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like the true me, like being that happy-go-lucky guy. Yeah, that's me. That's a part of me. That's not the whole me though.
That's that 60.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
60.
That's not the whole me.
That's that 60.
So what? Okay, but as opposed to what? So what's the other 40? Is the 40 this rowdy guy? Like
no. It's just it's just a person. It's just a person that really just want to be like. Sometimes it's themselves.
Yes.
Sorry.
Like just themselves.
But I have a question though. As
Lord.
an upbringing
Sorry.
and being in a black household, were we ever taught or even known about mental illness? Because we always was like, oh, having ADHD, that ain't nothing. That's nothing. They need to get their ass beat. That's all we heard.
I have OCD, ADHD, AD, elemental P. I got all that.
They always said anxiety. Oh, get over your fear. Or they said depression. Get up and you need to get out.
That's
Stuff
true.
like that. We didn't.
But can you hear the words though that you're saying? The same word that we was told by somebody else.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know. I was
And
a prime example of that.
And that's what I'm saying when I asked Lee,
But
when
I mean, like,
when are you
deeper than
telling?
even our parents, like a slave?
When
That's
are-
the same.
When are you
That's
talking
what
to your
I'm
kids
telling you,
about
you know
it?
what I'm saying?
Can
No,
I,
I like honestly,
like,
I haven't. Not that.
And
Like,
you
but I
have
will.
to.
Yeah, but I
You
will.
have
I
to.
will
Go ahead,
absolutely
bro. Go
have
ahead,
to.
though, bro. Come
Go
on, bro.
off.
so when you
Come
go,
on.
when you talking
Y'all-
about,
y'all
when you,
having
let's
a
go all the way
conversation
back.
by
Let's
yourself?
go all the way back to
Y'all
slavery.
get it.
Let's go all the way back to
You know when
slavery.
Markel starts talking is real.
Like,
Yeah, you gotta sit up though, cause I can't see you.
when you go all the way back to slavery, and you're talking about people that were used as property, and you're telling them whether, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand. It wasn't just, all right, we're gonna make y'all go out in the sun and work for 16 hours. It was some things that were going on that's just completely devious, if I may
Please
say.
let's not
Like,
get into that.
you know what I'm saying? And but even
But you gotta
in
touch
me,
it.
I have to touch it.
You gotta touch it
Because we use a term called MFer, and if you knew where that word derived from,
Yeah, I do know it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew where that word derived, it's a literal term when it was first created,
Yep.
and it was used because how they wanted to
Break-
basically breed,
break-
but they would use sons to breed with their mothers, and so you're talking about things like this in creating a child. You're talking about things like this, and these are being passed down. We already know that of incest, like incest has some qualities to it that just some bad qualities to it that, you know what I'm saying? Like, people make jokes about it, but it's true. Like, you don't. It's not made for a brother and a sister to create or to have sex at all in general, because it has mental, physical responses that happen. Not responses, consequences that happen because of it. So you're talking about something that happened in slavery. Let's go back 400. Just say 400 years ago. Okay, even though it was less than that. 400 years, and this is happened all the way into there's no more slavery. That was only 140 years ago, 160 years ago. So you talk, what's that about? What's that about? 5 generations? 4 generations? 4 or 5 generations? We're talking about 5 generations down away from slavery, and what we've been teaching, the slaves had to teach their kids something, even though they're free now. Hey, don't mess with, you know what I'm saying? Don't mess with this type of people, or you can't go here, or you got to do this. And this has been passed down about what you can't do, what you can't do, what you can't do. And so when you're talking about the black community and mental illnesses, a lot of it derives from that, amongst things that are happening today that we're recognizing with today's problem. That's how
it was told to me.
Reason why I keep saying understanding and knowledge is knowledge and understanding has knowledge. Being aware of those things, this is where you come from, right? This is even though it has history before then, this is what's happened in recent years, and this is what has happened to our people. This is what you're faced with today. However, this is when you bring in what you said and what you said together. You can be anything you want to be despite all those things that happen. It's more of an understanding of, listen, even though I have flaws, even though there's people out there that don't like me, there's disadvantages, things I can control, things I can't control. Even the things I can control, I still mess up sometimes. And the things I can't control, somehow I beat those things sometimes. So regardless of those things, I can be whoever I want to be. I can be that type of person. Now, do I have disadvantages? Yeah. I'm a black man in America, right? We have disadvantages all the time. But what you tell yourself in the inside, what you build up in the inside, what you understand in your internal qualities, externally has to respond. We were created. Externally, these things have to respond because of something that's internally in you that's already been determined. This is why he says, the one who helped me out will always say, tell me how many more days or how much help does it have? How much help do you gain when you worry about what's going on tomorrow? What can happen?
Boy.
How many days do you add to your life?
None.
So why worry? Why are we worrying about tomorrow problems even today?
That was deep too. You play too much.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the whole scripture, because it is a scripture in the Bible.
like I said, the
You
one who
play
told
too
me
much.
that and helped me through my depression.
Play too much.
But he lives internally, so I have.
Nah, but talk, bro.
That's the eternal. That's
because that's one of the ways that you help solve your depression.
right.
And that can help somebody
Right.
else.
That gotta be heard, bro.
It's another
gotta be
part
heard,
where he
bro.
says because they were tripping over about food, like, oh, they can't be eating this stuff and eating that. That's gonna defile them. He was like, listen, nothing that enters your body can defile you. It's what comes out of it. Meaning internal quality. He wasn't just talking about food. He was talking about internal qualities. Biggs was saying something on the side where he was just like, me helping other people helped me maintain some of my sanity, because I could have been deep in depression, but by me being a blessing to other people and seeing people being blessed by me simply just trying to help,
That's why I said we in one of the same.
it blessed me. It helped me out. You know what I'm saying? So, but that becomes something that he internally determined, and then externally it was exercised.
Because I feel like I can people can come to me and talk about their problems, and I can give them some of the best advice. But who do I go to for my problem?
Right.
Yeah, take your own advice.
Come
You
to
know
me,
what I'm
dog.
saying? I know, but it's just like
He can't.
it's crazy because like a lot
It's not about you.
a lot of people always feel like, you know, some of the happiest people in the world, like going back, some of the happiest people in the world don't have battles, and that's not true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that helps.
I think the people that shows the happier side of the world is the ones that are mostly struggling.
That need
the
the
most.
help. Yes.
Oh, wait, whoa,
Yes,
buddy.
bro.
I'm
Yeah.
trying
No,
to show that for the
Because and I just touch on me. I just touch on me. Like
kind of is. He kind of described me just
the
then.
designing part and all this stuff.
Generally speaking.
All this stuff
I'm just messing with him.
that comes from that. Like I can sit and design for hours because that's my relief. It's not because I want to make money. It's not because it's really because of I put so much out of myself into that stuff.
I had a vision about you last night. This is my hand to God, I'm not playing. So I'm watching TV, and the guy said, what's his name? Woody Harrelson was hosting Saturday Night Live. And he said, so I got with my man Dapper Dan and had him design me, and he had on this really raw pajamas. And for some reason, when he said it, I say, that's going to be big. So, bro, listen to me. I say it on camera, so it's on forever.
Manifest.
When you get right, like, I don't pay. Just dress me, cause I'm just
Back to the message for the kids.
God dog. I tried to get him on camera. All you had to do is say it.
Listen,
Dapper Dan.
man.
You know how much money it costs to get some Dapper Dan? Like, boy, you gotta be.
One thing that can help you get through depression sometimes is just by finding something that you like doing and that you feel
like
like
that.
it can just help you.
Yeah.
And if it helps you, it can help somebody else.
Yes.
And for me, that's all it is. If I can help me, I can help somebody else. So if I can create something that somebody else can say, damn, bro, like fancy.
good.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, just to not talk about Black Blossom, but
Talk about Black Blossom.
Like Black Blossom was created because it's for those kids out there who wasn't cool, who got picked on, but I can grab something and say, man, I feel like somebody. Yeah. That's what it's for. Like it's not for nothing else. Like, it's a message behind it. And like for me, like if I can make something that you put on that makes your day go by better, damn the money. Yeah. That's what I do it for.
Which means that when you
but
make
for
it,
Lee's gonna pay every single thing.
Because it sounded like he was saying like, cause
nah, but you know, purpose, man.
Having purpose,
Yes,
bro, in this
man.
life. And then you asked another question at the beginning. You was like, well, how do you help someone if you see someone in that depression? As genuinely and as much as you can, being there. Simply being there, yo. Like,
well, let me ask you a question about that right there. So you say be there. Do you think that a person can be depressed by how they look?
yeah.
So you think
It can be a factor in causing depression.
Okay, so if a person is not happy with how they look, and then they got a friend who designs really hot shit that can make them look better, wouldn't it be the friend's obligation, like if for lack of a better term,
like fancy.
It would, right?
Fancy.
Right?
Yeah.
Look, me being 6'5", always been a big kid, bigger than everybody else.
Listen,
Always, like, believe it or not, I had the smallest guys always wanting to fight me 24/7.
I ain't even trying to start no fight. I'm trying to get an outfit.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, bro. But listen, though. right? But that one little thing, bro, made my mom teach me how to control myself internally. Because I used to go home and punch walls sometimes. Listen to me, bro. Listen to me. Because I couldn't hurt small kids, bro. Because they bothered me. I didn't never bother them. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me though.
But you know why though?
But it became a 1 day thing to a 7 day thing to a year thing to a life thing to the point where I used to just want to be like, okay, I need a release. But instead of that, I had to find some like for me. Anybody who know me, you know I never sit and do one thing. I'm always finding something. Because if I get to a point where I get to a depression, I'm gonna find something to get me out of it.
Meaning keep yourself busy.
Keep yourself
so
going.
you don't dwell on what's
keep
depressing.
Keep yourself going. And the first thing I tell you is honestly to God is honestly, it's just to give it to Christ first and say, man, whatever you take me, I'm a go.
So you gotta have faith. None of this work without faith.
None.
That's what depression is.
To me.
When you're depressed, you don't. The purpose of depression is that it's hard to see if you can see it at all, the light at the end of the tunnel, which means what?
Like that.
Hopelessness. Like I feel hopeless in this situation right now. I don't see the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But having
or seeing the answer and not seeing a way to obtain it.
That too.
Like seeing something that appears presents itself to you as being something that's out of reach, unobtainable.
But
that could cause depression, right?
It still comes back to faith, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
What I'm saying, like, just being there, like, yo, like, he was there. Like, when I talk about Christ, man, he was there.
Man, I promise you.
You don't have to believe him all you want to, but I'm telling you as a living witness, like, when nobody else, I told you I was in the cage, and even my mom can see it, couldn't call it out, but she was like, "Is something wrong with my son? What's going on?" You know, my mom was just 100. What's going on? Like, she's trying to talk to me. I ain't had no answers for her. But when you talk about who Christ was and him just being there, him being able to explain, listen, you got situations that go back to when you was 4, 5 years old, and this happened to you, and this you got situations when this happened in high school. You know what I'm saying? Being able to identify those things and then have an understanding. Listen, but those things don't define you. Those things are just they don't tell who you are. That's why people who get stuck in the past, man, I used to live. They're complacent. Like you can't be complacent about who you are. If you get complacent and you become depressed, I think those two work together, to be honest with you. Complacency and being depressed, I think they work together. But contentment is a whole other thing. Contentment is saying I value and I appreciate and I'm grateful for everything that I have around me. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm being and a fulfillment being a part of it. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't have that fulfillment, or you don't feel like you're doing your job as a human being in this world, or as a son, or as a friend, or as a lover, or whatever the case may be.
You said as a friend too?
As a friend too.
So a friend has a responsibility to friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, go back to what I was saying earlier. If you have a friend who is not happy with the way he appears to the world, and he got a friend who designs fashionable things, shouldn't that friend who do design
as is written? All I'm saying is
we.
You know, we like to have a little fun at Fullback Brother.
Good, man.
Yeah,
I think we accomplished a lot tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the end, because she said it, it all comes back to faith. Having faith in Christ, our Savior. Having faith in something's bigger than yourself. Yeah. You know, I think y'all also said that we need to identify the thing, the catalyst that propels us into a state of depression. Mm-hmm. And once we identify,
and another thing too is, man, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but
say it the right way, brother.
I'm gonna use a curse. I'm a curse, man.
You gotta say it though.
Stop giving a fuck what someone else thinks about you, and love yourself first.
Thyself.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you, man. Because if you let God use you for you, He gonna put you on the path that you gotta be on. Don't worry about the other side of the people, man. Focus on what you gotta do for you. Let God use you, man. And I shouldn't, curse in that sense, but let God use you, man. Seriously, man. But not care what nobody else think, man. Do you, man. Do you.
Do you. And the great iceberg millionaire 305 said, F the other side.
He's a rapper from Miami. Also be aware that the world is always going to tell you that you need approval. You got to understand that there's another end to the spectrum. Like there's another side that's telling you need my approval, or you need my yes, you need my say so to do things. And that's where people get stuck at. A lot of
now, wait, but y'all remember one thing before we sign out. Where does Four Black Brothers live? We live in reality. Mm-hmm. We live in reality, yes, all these things are true. But before any of this can go about, first you gotta have some faith. because you need to believe in something bigger than you. Yes, second, you need to identify whatever it is that's causing you to get into this state. The third is you need to move. You need to move, because I think you said being stagnant is not a good thing. You need to move.
It's not, man.
You need to accomplish them. And fourth,
you need to understand.
Oh man, how important is understanding? Because you can
communicate
all day, right?
Yeah, communicate, but if you don't understand,
you need to understand it. So you have to understand. First, you have to understand yourself.
It's just a tip.
The tip of the iceberg.
It wasn't. It's not from my own originality.
That was so very bad.
When we talk about knowing or identifying, and we talk about understanding, it's written out of the mouth of God comes knowledge and understanding. That's all. I'm just throwing that out there.
When they talk about faith, man, they say Proverbs, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So I'm going to leave that right there.
And then to answer your question about today.
That was a good. Give me some, man.
We're talking about God being attacked nowadays more than before. No, he was attacked before, but he's not. First of all, he's not threatening. The fact that he's not threatening, the proof of is that he called it 2,000 years ago when he said in the end times, people are just not. They're going to be love of themselves, love of money, love of greed. And they won't see me. They won't even look for me. So, just throwing that out there. I ain't saying you.
Based on that, Four Black Brothers encourages you to continue to seek God first, above, and before all things. From a personal note, Four Black Brothers love you. If you are out there and you're depressed, seek some help, please. If you out there right now and you feeling sad, and you've been feeling sad for quite a bit, swallow your pride and seek some help, because nothing can be produced from a sad, depressed feeling but more sadness and depression. You got to get away from it. You got to move. You got to get up. You got to move. You got to take care of yourself. I say that with love. And this is Four Black Brothers. We got my main man, Big with the 2 G's, also known as Black Blossom Apparel. Check him out. He just released his first photo shoot, which was very beautiful, by the way.
Dope.
I mean, you did that, bro. I like that a lot. And I ain't gonna lie, I actually got that shirt that the boy was featuring in the first picture. So yeah.
And just to touch on that, man, if there's any local artist in Central Florida that has a positive message with your music, please contact me, man. Like, I'm willing to work with any artist that has something going on.
Positive message. That don't mean every song gotta be positive, but you gotta have some that produce some positive messages. And wait, hold on, wait, bro. Right? Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. Just because of who I serve.
No, it's about who I serve. Shout out to my man Kels over there, and it's about who I serve. Y'all got anything coming up?
Thank you. We do have a campaign coming. I don't want to give too much detail on it. Just keep looking
that out. Campaign though.
God has blessed me with the opportunity to be able to work with that, and so yeah.
I thought he was just say God is black. I was like, oh, we on the whole. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Jay
read that Bible.
Jay Plato.
Shout out to Jay Plato.
Jay Plato.
Jay Plato. I'm going to shoot out here, but I'm going to shout him out because my brother say that's what time it is.
Plato. Y'all know who it is. DJ Viral.
Yeah.
Y'all need if y'all need a DJ, come holler at me. I got another
best DJ in Orlando.
Come on now.
In Orlando,
I got an endorsement from Beauty by Select.
I got another business that's coming soon, so y'all please stay tuned.
Let them work.
We actually have an event coming up. So y'all please stay tuned. Like we got some big things coming. We trying to get a lot of
Four Black Brothers production.
You local businesses, please keep in contact with us, because we got something really big coming out. Big shout out to Beauty by Select. She does lashes. She does teeth whitening. She just moved to a new spot, which is beautiful. So you make sure you check it out. Let her know where it's at. It's in Altamont. Please check out.
You in the neighborhood now? That's what's up.
You can find her on IG. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her on both IG, Facebook, and Four Black Brothers YouTube page, because she's on a couple of videos.
Holla.
We out.
Thank you for coming, bite.
Yeah, for real.
Coming, bite.
We do appreciate it. And just for the record, because in the beginning she said, I don't think y'all have me back, but you have an open invitation, so you can just drop in whatever you like.
Whenever you want to come bite, you can come bite.
Yeah, you welcome bite anytime you want, J-Ville style.
All right, y'all. Four Black Brothers, we's out.
Out of here, player.
We need a remote control to turn off.
Yeah, we really do. We need to.
I'm going to turn off.
Beep. That was nice. I don't know what's happening right now.
I think we should divide that. That was like an hour.
How long was it?